In this guide, we're going region by region to cover the best gear you should have before moving on to the next area. Rather than just listing the strongest equipment, I'll explain when you can obtain it, why it's worth upgrading, and the important items you don't want to miss along the way. Following this progression will help you avoid unnecessary backtracking and make each new region feel like it's a natural step forward. My name's Thurnax, let's get started. Before leaving Templewoods, this is the gear set I'd recommend having completed. It gives you everything you need to survive consistently while preparing for Bramblemead Valley, starting with the Pioneer Scarf, the Adventure Tunic, and the Adventurer's Leggings, as well as the Pioneer Cape. This combination provides a strong early game balance of protection and mobility without requiring materials from later regions. For combat, use the Wooden Training Sword paired with the Wooden Shield. Don't let the name fool you. The Wooden Training Sword is more than capable of handling every enemy you'll encounter throughout Templewoods, while the shield gives you access to blocking, which dramatically reduces incoming damage when timed correctly. For your food slot, bring Rat Roast, and keep clean water in your drinking slot. Rat Roast is easy to farm, provides reliable healing, and is more than enough to carry you throughout the encounter in the region. Clean water keeps your hydration up, allowing your stamina to recover properly during exploration and combat. For gathering, craft both the stone pickaxe and stone logging axe. These tools are essential because it allows you to gather the resources needed to upgrade your base, craft better equipment, and prepare for the next stage of progression. The goal isn't simply to defeat Templewoods, it's to leave the region completely prepared. Having this full equipment setup means you'll have the survivability, damage, food supply, and gathering tools necessary to begin exploring the next area, without immediately falling behind. Once you reach this point, you're ready to move to the next region. Once you've reached Bramblemead Valley, this is where your character really starts to take shape. Up until now, everyone has been using roughly the same equipment, but this is the point where you'll begin defining your preferred combat style. If you're playing melee, your goal before leaving this region is to craft a reinforced helmet, reinforced body, and reinforced legs. While keeping the Pioneer Cape equipped, pair that armor with a bone club and a leather shield for a significant increase in both damage output and survivability. If you prefer range combat, work towards crafting the leather cowl, body, and chaps, again paired with any cape. Before moving on, complete the Restless Ghost quest to unlock the Adventurer's Longbow, and stock up on Fang arrows. This will be your strongest range setup heading into the next stage of progression. For magic users, you'll want to craft an apprentice hat, robe, and leggings, along with any cape. You'll also want to craft an ash battle staff, giving you a solid foundation before stronger magical equipment becomes available later in the game. Your food by now should be upgraded to grilled trout. After speaking with the old wise men and unlocking fishing, trout becomes one of the most reliable healing foods available at this stage of the game. For your drink slot, switch over to Fleetwood Infusions, giving you better stamina management while exploring, gathering, and fighting. By now, you should have also hunted enough animals to craft a bone pickaxe. While it may seem a small upgrade, you'll make gathering the large amounts of tin and copper ore you'll need in the next region much more efficient. There isn't an upgrade for the logging axe in Bramblemead Valley or the Whispering Swamps, so your stone logging axe will continue to serve you well until later in your adventure. Before leaving these two regions, making sure you've committed to your preferred combat style, upgraded your food and drinks, and crafted a bone pickaxe. Doing all of this now will make the transition into Fractured Plains region much smoother and save you from having to backtrack for essential upgrades later. Now that you've established your preferred combat style, this is where your build really starts to come together. I've grouped Fractured Plains and Bloodlight Swamp together because not every combat style receives a complete gear upgrade in just one of these regions. By exploring both, you'll be able to put together the best in slot setup for advancing into Stormtouch Highlands. For melee players, your goal is to craft a bronze helmet, plate body, and plate legs. Continue wearing that cape that provides that +2 perk bonus, as those perks are still vital. While exploring the Fractured Plains, make sure you take on an Abyssal Demon if you haven't already. After obtaining the materials and the Visage from the region's vault, you'll be able to craft the Abyssal Whip. You'll also want to craft a bronze shield as your primary offhand. However, if you completed the Whispering Swamps vault earlier and unlocked the anti-dragon shield recipe, you can now harvest the Bloodlight wood to craft it. Although it offers the same stats as the bronze shield, it prepares you for future dragon encounters as much better long-term investment. For ranged players, your first priority should be crafting the hard leather cowl, body, and chaps before tackling any of the region's vaults. Once you're geared, head to the northwestern corner of the Fractured Plains, where you'll find a hidden chest that contains the Bloodlight crossbow Visage. Just south of that location is a vault where you unlock the Bloodlight ore itself, allowing you to craft one of the biggest range damage upgrades available at this stage of the game. Since crossbows can be paired with shields, ranged players should also craft the bronze shield, or if you have already unlocked it, the anti-dragon shield. While its defensive stats are identical, the anti-dragon shield is a better long-term choice and saves you from crafting another shield later. After clearing the Bloodlight Swamp Vault, you'll unlock the Visages needed to craft the Wild Archer cowl, body, and chaps. These pieces provide noticeably better defense, while also providing stronger perks, making them the best range armor before entering the Stormtouch Highlands. Now you may have noticed I didn't mention the Crystal Bow, and that was intentional. While the Crystal Bow deals more damage, actually, the Bloodlight crossbow is a better weapon to carry while exploring. Being able to pair it with a shield gives you a huge survivability boost when you're pushing into new regions, clearing vaults, or getting caught off guard by tougher enemies. That said, I wouldn't leave the Crystal Bow at home. Carry both. Use the Bloodlight crossbow for general exploration, and swap the Crystal Bow whenever you need to burst down to stronger enemy groups or bosses. They fill different roles, and together they can make one of the strongest ranged loadouts you can have at this stage of the game. For magic users, your goal is to craft the Dark Mage hood, robes, and leggings, once you have unlocked the padded cloth. Continue pairing the armor with any cape that provides that +2 perk bonus. Magic players should also prioritize completing the quest, Highlighting the Problem. This quest unlocks the recipe for Staff of Light, which is the massive upgrade over the Ash Battle Staff, offering significantly better combat performance and carrying you comfortably into the next region. For food, every combat style should switch to Eggs Royale. It's surprisingly easy to make by just combining cooked eggs and fried salmon. And it grants the Sea Life perk, restoring a small amount of health every 3 seconds. The consistent healing provides incredible value during longer fights, exploration, and boss encounters. For your drink slot, your infusions should now match your combat styles. Ferocious infusions for melee, relentless infusions for range, and arcane infusions for magic. Finally, don't neglect your tools. By the time you're ready to leave these regions, you should have upgraded to both Bronze Pickaxe and Bronze Logging Axe. These tools are required. These tools dramatically improve resource gathering speed and making collecting the materials needed through Stormtouch Highlands much faster and far less tedious. While the Bronze Logging Axe makes gathering logs and cutting trees much easier, the Bronze Pickaxe is required before even touching iron in the Stormtouch Highlands. Before leaving the Fractured Plains and Bloodlight Swamp, make sure your combat styles is fully upgraded, and you're stocked with Eggs Royale and the appropriate fusions. Doing all of this now will make Stormtouch Highlands feel like the next step in your adventure instead of an overwhelmingly difficult spike. Now that you've reached Stormtouch Highlands, melee players, your goal is to craft a full Paladin armor set. Although iron armor becomes available here, the Paladin armor offers the same exact stats and makes you look way cooler. So, making it obviously the better choice if you've unlocked the Visage. Your Abyssal Whip is still an excellent weapon through this region, so there's no reason to replace it yet. The only equipment upgrade you'll want is an Iron Shield, giving you a nice boost to your defenses. Just remember to hold on to that anti-Dragonfire shield, as you're going to need it for Velgar. For range players, you'll unlock the ability to craft studded armor, but don't rush into making it. The Wild Archer set actually still has the same stats, making it a superior choice despite being from a previous region. Instead, focus your resources on crafting an iron crossbow. This is a significant damage upgrade over the Bloodlight crossbow, especially once you begin crafting those enchanted Bloodlight bolts. Like melee players, you should also upgrade to an iron shield, while keeping that anti-Dragonfire shield stored for Velgar. For magic users, the biggest upgrade isn't your armor. It's finally crafting that Draconic Staff. You likely found this Visage back in the Fractured Plains, but this is the region where you finally gain access to the iron needed to create it. The Draconic Staff is a substantial improvement over your Staff of Light, and should become your primary weapon moving forward. The Staff of Light you should also carry as a secondary weapon, as it may provide benefits in the future. Armor-wise, you can unlock the Draconic Mage set if you've collected the required Visage. However, it's purely cosmetic upgrade, as it provides the same stacks as the Dark Mage set. If you like the appearance, it's absolutely worth crafting, but don't expect a combat advantage. For food, continue using Eggs Royale. The passive healing from the Sea Life perk remains one of the strongest food effects available at this point in game. Your drink choice should also remain the same. First is infusions for melee, relentless infusions for range, and arcane infusions for magic. Finally, it's time to upgrade your gathering tools. Craft an iron pickaxe for faster mining, and replacing your old logging axe for the iron logging axe, as you'll need these upgrades for the next area. Before leaving the Stormtouch Highlands and killing Velgar, make sure you've crafted your iron tools, upgraded your primary weapon where applicable, and collected any cosmetic armor sets you want from the region's vaults. With those upgrades complete, you'll be fully prepared to tackle the challenges awaiting in Fellhollow as well. Alright, and that wraps everything you should be aiming for before leaving Stormtouch Highlands. If you picked up these upgrades, you will be well prepared for the challenges awaiting in Fellhollow. One thing to mention and keep in mind is the upcoming Masterwork weapon system. The developers have confirmed that after defeating Velgar and collecting Ascension shards, Masterwork weapons will become upgradable. At the time I'm recording this, we don't know exactly how those upgrades will work or how powerful they will be, but it may be worth crafting your Masterwork weapon now and bringing them into Fellhollow so you're ready for that when the update arrives. The progression doesn't stop here. I'll be releasing best in slot guides for Fellhollow, Dowdun Reach, and Umbral Sands very shortly, along with dedicated melee, range, and magic boss guides that breaks down the best gear, combat mechanics, and strategies for every major encounter. If this guide helped you out, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next region or any of the upcoming boss guides. This is Thurnax, and I'll see you in the next Dragonwilds guide.